Last meeting, I discussed about developing reading fluency, but unfortunately, we could not finish that due to limited time. So, before we move on to the next topic to be discussed by my group mates, let's have first a quick recap about my part in this presentation, which is the oral difficulties. First is the limited vocabulary. It just says here that if a child has a limited vocabulary or struggles to expand their vocabulary, this leads to poor comprehension and limited learning. For example, while we are telling or explaining something, we can't continue because we are looking for a word or phrase that is appropriate, but we can't explain it. That is why vocabulary plays an important role when it comes to reading fluency. Next, we have word recognition. These are the students who have difficulty sounding out words and recognizing words out of context. Highlighted here is the phrase difficulty in recognizing words out of context. It means that the meaning of the word also depends on the context in which it is used. For example, the word bright in a sentence. He is a bright child can mean two things. Either it means filled with light or smart. But in this context, bright would mean smart as that makes the most sense. Diba, if we can't recognize what is the writer really trying to convey here, it will affect our understanding about that sentence. I also discussed about why ignoring punctuations when reading affects our comprehension and mood. This is a very important to be considered when we are reading because when we ignore the punctuation in a text, it can affect the whole message that a writer wants to convey. Punctuations also serve as the mood or tone of the text. For example, when we are reading a text, you saw a phrase, stop the car, with exclamation point at the end. Of course, you wouldn't say it as, stop the car. Instead, you would say, stop the car. Dapat ganon because exclamation point is indicating strong or intense emotion. Therefore, we must be strict with punctuation because it adds clarity and precision to reading. It allows readers to stop, pause, or emphasize specific parts of the sentence.
Okay, so the next topic that I will be discussing is the relationship between fluency to reading comprehension. So let us first define this fluency and reading comprehension. So reading fluency is reading a text with speed, accuracy, intonation, and proper expression as well. So it is how we decode the text with a proper pronunciation, speed of time that is understandable as well. The next one is reading comprehension. Reading comprehension is how we understand what one is reading. How you understand the meaning of the text that you are reading. That is reading comprehension. In the research entitled The Relationship Between Reading Fluency to Reading Comprehension, it states that ECT in word recognition or fluency must apply a significant of time to their finite cognitive energies to consciously decode the words that they encountered while reading. So, in order to be fluent in reading, students or learners must apply a lot of time in reading or practicing the words that they encountered. In this way, they will have the understanding and the fluency about what they are reading. Cognitive attention or energy that must be applied in the low decoding task of reading is cognitive energy that is taken away from more important task of comprehending the text. Hence, comprehension is negatively affected by a reader's lack of fluency. These are the 4 examples of the relationship between fluency to reading comprehension. And overall, the relationship of fluency to reading comprehension is that fluency creates a bridge to reading comprehension. If the children is not fluent in reading, they can make or unable to make connection and can't fully comprehend reading. They will be considered as a non-fluent readers. Note that once you read the text without understanding it or fluent in saying the words accurate, it is expected that you will miss some important information about the text that you are reading.
In continuation, reading fluency is the speed and accuracy of decoding words, while reading comprehension is the ability to understand what you are reading. It is important to develop both reading fluency and reading comprehension in all students. It's very important to balance reading fluency and reading comprehension because some students struggle with learning to read well, focus more on the mechanics of reading or decoding and miss comprehending what they are reading. And others students can easily understand what they are reading even though they struggle with decoding. There are a way to learn reading fluency and reading comprehension. When reading comprehension skills are higher than reading fluency. Practicing reading fluency at the child's reading decoding level will help build reading fluency skills. When reading fluency is low, consider this intervention. The child's need repeated practice reading to develop a better reading rate. When I'm in elementary, I am struggle both reading fluency and reading comprehension. My older brother always give me a story to read. I read it many times until I answered a correct answer. Then we will stop. Then another day we are reading again. The second one is the children need phonetic rules to increase reading accuracy. Give the student phonetic can relate to sounds that they can enjoy while learning. When reading fluency skills are higher than reading comprehension skills, make sure that the student slow down and processes what the words are saying. For example, you gave a student a storybook. Before beginning a book, take time to discuss the cover and title with the student. Like, you can ask, why do you think they choose this title? And what do you think the book is going to be about? Start in questioning the student so they have already a knowledge about what are in the stories or where the student need to focus on. And one is stop and ask comprehension question as you read. And during and after the student read the stories, you can ask a questions like, what do you think the main character look like? Or what do you think the settings look like? Ask the simple question to the children so that we can know if they have learned in what they are reading. If they comprehend their reading skills.